Hey guys, welcome to Whiskey and Literature. I'm your host, Captain Mike, and I'm excited about tonight's video because we're drinking whiskey. Scotch to be exact, Glenmorangie, the Cadboll Estate, Batch 3. I liked Batch 2 enough that I wanted to get Batch 3 when I realized that it was a different whiskey and not just the same expression kind of year after year. I think of like the Macallan 15, the double cask, which we like a lot. I'm not sure that from year over year that it's really any different. It's just the same kind of whiskey. And I was assuming that the Glenmorangie 15 Cadboll Estate was the same thing, but it is kind of the same, but different. Let's go through the different reasons why they are the same and different. So a couple months ago, I realized that I had not even opened half of the Scotch whiskeys that I had in my house. And so I opened them all up in one night, took a sip and just a nip of each one of my 12 Scotches, and the Glenmorangie 15 Cadboll Estate Batch 2 was my favorite that night. And I know for some of my friends, actually most of my friends, 12 Scotch whiskeys in your house at one time, it's a lot. For a lot of people would say, wait, you only have 12 Scotches? I mean, I've only been drinking for 5 years in total, and I've only really been hitting it for the past year, year and a half maybe. And so I think having 12, 13 now Scotch whiskeys at my house is pretty good. If I have 200 bottles of whiskey at my house and I have 13 Scotch, that's about 6.5%, 7% of my total collection is Scotch whiskey. And I think that's pretty good. I do enjoy them. All the ones that I have, for the most part, I think they're pretty good whiskey. Maybe my heart really lies in, American bourbon and American rye whiskey. And I do really like Irish, and I do like the Scotches. I just haven't been able to give it my full attention at this time yet. So again, I liked Batch 2 enough. I picked up Batch 3 when I realized it was different. It's not just like the Macallan 15 double cask every year. I don't think it's different. It's just kind of the same whiskey each year. But the Glenmorangie 15, the Cadboll Estate Batch 2 and Batch 3 are different. So let's go through the specs and stats for this whiskey. I paid $99.99 for this yesterday at Lucan's here in the Tampa Bay, and I'm pretty sure that's MSRP for the whiskey. It's bottled at 43 ABV, and just like Batch 2, it's aged for 15 years in ex-bourbon barrels. A difference between Batch 2 and Batch 3, and I'm gonna have to look up this word here or read it off of the bottle. It's, according to the website, a portion of the whiskey in here is finished, and I'm gonna butcher this, Amontillado sherry casks. So, but as far as I can tell, they're both Cadboll Estate barley. They're both 15-year, but a portion of this is finished in sherry cask. Cool. I know some people are against or they don't like the finished whiskeys, but I find myself not gravitating towards finished whiskey, but I can really appreciate them. I think of High West, the bourbon finished in different casks. I do really like it. The Balvenie finished in rum cask. The High West Double Rye finished in rum cask. If you tell me you don't like finished whiskey, but you like Angel's Envy, well, all of Angel's Envy is finished. The Purist finished in absinthe barrels. That's a fantastic whiskey. Not something you have every day. So I do find myself enjoying finished whiskeys, and this Glenmorangie, it is finished, at least a portion of it, in sherry cask. Okay, let's get at it. And I've had a couple small pours out of this last night and just a bit ago, not my first whiskey of the evening. I find the nose to be really nice. Some buttery honey. There's some sweetness on there. Creamy banana. There's a touch of barley. It is reminiscent of the Batch 2, but there's that bit of nuttiness, which I understand is coming from the sherry finish. I didn't get any of those nut notes on Batch 2 at all. A little bit of barley, no spice at all on the nose for me. Just a little bit of a heat, which is, I mean, it's only 43 ABV, but if you stick your nose in there deep enough, you're going to get a bit of heat. But overall, it's, oh, that was, man, I'm a fan of the banana notes on whiskey, and I'm getting that on there. It's just rich and nice on the nose. There's that barley note again. I think it's complex, perhaps. There's multiple notes in there, and you could pick those apart. I'm not an expert at that by any stretch of the imagination. I can pick out if it's sweet, that dull barley note that I associate with single malts, also American single malts and the Irish single malts. It's that same kind of underlying dull, I think of it as a dull barley note. Okay, let's get at it. Cheers. It's more of that sweet honey on the mouth, on the palate. There's a bit of spice on the palate that I didn't catch on the nose at all. That creamy banana and the nut are kind of combining. It's that there's some banana on the palate as well, but some nuttiness. I mean, let's just kind of merge it into a sweet banana nut bread kind of note on there. It's a nice mouthfeel. It's rich and viscous. It's definitely sweeter than batch 2, and I assume that's the sherry bringing that forward as well. It doesn't say what portion is finished in the sherry cask. We don't know. At least I don't know. I couldn't find it on the website. It doesn't say it on the bottle at all. I like Jim Beam. I have the distiller's share. It's an American single malt that a portion was finished in cognac cask. And that distiller's share says exactly what percentage of the single malt was finished in Courvoisier VSOP and Courvoisier XO cask. It's nice. It tells you exactly what that percentage is. And as somewhat of a whiskey nerd, I do appreciate when distilleries kind of overshare information. I know that some guys are not into that. They don't. If you're watching this video, I assume that you are. You want to know this sort of facts, and I think the more they share with us, the better. It just kind of helps us refine what do you like in your palate. And when you see whiskey with kind of the same mash bill or percentage of finishing or finish in different kind of finishes, finish in different kind of expressions, rums, sherries, ports, you can kind of look for those when you are shopping, I think, right? If you know you like a high rye bourbon, then that's what you're going to be looking for. If you like a single malt finish in port, you're going to be looking for those single malts finish in port. So give us the information. Why not? I find it to be really, really nice. I like all the notes, just a bit of spice, but it's not overwhelming at all. It's actually kind of subdued, and it's ran over partly by the notes of sweetness, some honey, some banana, and some nut. I think it's rich and viscous. It's very nice. It's the same as batch 2, but different. It's a nice, there it is again, there some more barley on that, maybe less nut, but it's finishing really nice with just a touch of heat, and really, really, really good. As I get more into scotches, I do appreciate them more and more. I'm still bourbon forward, rye forward, certainly high rye bourbon probably really is, that's my wheelhouse. Or even just going to a high rye. That's really my stuff. But this Glenmorangie, the batch 2 and the batch 3, I think are both excellent, if not exceptional whiskeys. I enjoyed both of them, and I am looking forward to, in the future, getting further and further into different Scotch whiskeys. If you have a suggestion for me, let me know. I have a couple Glenmorangies. I have the 14, like Quinta Ruba or something. I have a couple Glenlivets, the Balvenie, Johnny Walker, Macallan, Longmorn, Grangestone, a few other scotches, and I do most of them I appreciate. If you have a favorite scotch, let us know below, and why do you like it? Why is it your favorite? Right now, $144 for that Macallan 15. That's the most I've ever paid for a scotch. And I know some of these scotches, they are insane in the prices. Like, I don't think I've ever seen, except maybe those really high-end Buffalo Trace. I've not seen any bourbon or rye whiskey that can get nearly to the price as what I've seen the scotches go for. Just astronomical prices on some of those, and I'm not willing to pay those at this point right now. So, but do you have a favorite scotch? If so, let me know what it is. And if you have not tried this Glenmorangie 15, the Cadboll Estate Batch 3, I think you should, because it's a pretty excellent whiskey. And if you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe to see more of my content. I do both book and whiskey reviews. And you know what to do. For now, turn the pages, my friends, and stay thirsty. Cheers.